Hello, welcome to the stream. I tried again to stream to TikTok at the same time as everything else, but it hasn't worked. So we're just on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, I believe. Just gonna see if I can get Twitch chat up and also YouTube chat and Instagram chat. Looks like I've got all of them. Cool. I've got to say, the TikTok streaming, if you only stream like once a week or something, is not great because you sort of have to keep asking for permission to get access to be able to stream from your computer to TikTok. I guess they're used to people streaming from the phone, which obviously you just do directly from the app. But if you want to stream from your computer to TikTok, there's a special form that you fill in, and then you lose permission halfway through the week. And then when you come to use it again the next week, it's like, you don't have permission, apply again, and then you apply. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But I have permission, it's just not streamed now for some reason. So thanks TikTok, ruining the stream every week. But they have some good algorithm stuff because I've been getting decent views on my TikTok shorts from the streams. To say it's just me coding in Unity, which I think is quite boring. Alright, I'm going to hop into Unity now and have a look how far we got last week, because I don't fully remember. Basically, I'm only working on this game during the live streams, so that's 3 hours every week. So I've been working on this game for 9 hours so far, and after today it'll be 12 hours. So this is what we've got. We've got like a start button to start the game. That spawns in a player. You can walk about and shoot. You can use keyboard and mouse, or that's keyboard and mouse. Like you can aim. You've got 360 degrees there. Or if you're using keyboard, you can always shoot in the 8 directions. I'm quite liking mouse and keyboard, is fine. And also the controller works as well, so you can use gamepad. And then we've got enemies spawning in over time. Who's that? Rose Gaming Diva. Hello. Thanks for joining. So we can kill the enemies. We've got these particles when the bullets collide with the enemies or they collide with walls. And also we've got these bullet holes we added last stream, I think, which is pretty cool. That looks quite nice. We're trying to make the game with no artwork and just shapes for now. And the idea is, if it's fun with just shapes, then hopefully it will be fun when you add artwork in as well. Still with Mediatonic or Epic? No, I left about a year ago now, and then I've just been doing my own thing for a while. And then you can restart game because you lost. Okay, and then if we lose, oh sorry, that was win, and then there's also lose, where you lose all your health. I think it will kill you. And we should get a, yeah, you've lost message there. Restart game. So, what do we want to add in today? There's a few bits to like tidy up. Some like bug fixy type things. Nothing super major, I don't think. It seems to be working pretty decently. And then I want to kind of... So the other thing that we added in, I'll show you here. Swoop. If we hop out, press play. We've got this like lift. And if I go to the lift, wherever the lift is, there's the lift. If I press open doors, it opens the doors of the lift. And close doors, closes the doors of the lift. So the idea for this game is that you work in an office that's on loads of floors, and all the other employees are robots, AI, and you have to destroy them all. You have to go from floor to floor destroying all the robot workers. And each time you'll come up out of the lift will open, you'll come out, you'll kill all the enemies, and then the lift will open up again so you can go back in and move up to the next floor. And then there'll be like loads of random upgrades in between floors as well. Does the game have a name yet? Not yet. I've got a few potential names, but I haven't decided on like final name just yet. Miss Fall Guys. Yeah. Nothing will be early OG Fall Guys pre-epic. Yeah, it's crazy. Like went from launching as like a premium game, and like you would use the crowns that you won to buy costumes, to like obviously switching it up, going free to play, moving away from seasons, and to just like updates. It went through a lot of changes, and then the Fall Guy level editor as well was cool. Round editor. Missed the old days. I've not played it for a while, so there might be some updates I've not seen yet. Do you still play it? Have you played it lately? You want more of the Unity stuff as well? Great, that's great. Yeah. Oh yeah, the bullets have got shadows, so it looks a bit odd if you shoot there, where the shadow is like above the thing. Since August the 4th, 2020. Is that when it came out, or is that when it went free to play? Can't even remember. Oh, you were playing it since the start. Nice. And still play now, right? Okay, let's hop in and start doing some code. So, we need to change a few things on the game manager. Basically, when it resets the game, the enemy timer needs to restart. So we go here, we do start spawning enemies. Let's go to that definition there. And then whoop. This is spawning enemies over time. I know it should wait. I think it's because it's like spawns one in straight away. So maybe we should wait before we spawn the enemy in. Let's put this at the start of the function. That'll be better. That fixes that issue. Because the issue now is when you press play, there's already an enemy like instantly, which is a bit weird. But we fix that. Oh, whoa, you've made 50 levels. That's crazy. Did you play in the beta tests and stuff? Did you get any of the special costumes that we did? The crash test dummy and the dragons and the knights and stuff. All enemies defeated. Cool. So that fixes that issue. Save that. I also want to destroy all the bullets when the game restarts, because at the moment the bullets were staying alive when the game reset. Ah, you didn't get them. That's unfortunate. We gave a lot out, but obviously there was so many players at the start that like very small percentage of players ended up with them. And people were asking for them all the time. Yeah. Whoop. So start game, it waits, and then an enemy comes in. And then starts. Yeah, so if I've got loads of bullets and I die, I think the bullets will sort of stay. See, I die. Yeah. And see the bullets are still floating and then get destroyed. I need to keep a reference to them to be able to destroy them. So that in pool manager maybe. We maybe want another function in here that's like despawn all of specific object type. Actually, we probably want to despawn everything. I'll do that. I'll have a void, public void. Yeah, basically clear pool, but it's like despawn everything. And then AI is now suggesting things. Let's see what it says. For each prefab queue pair in pool dictionary, queue equals the queue. While the queue has more than 0 things in it, we dequeue and we destroy. And then we clear it at the end. I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. But I'll take that and then I'll just edit that. So we have our pool dictionary, which is our pool. We're basically going to go queue game object. Object queue is the queue itself. And then while there are more than one thing in there, we'll take things out of the queue. We won't destroy them. That is weird. We will despawn to pool object. Wait. This is not what we want to do. Because if it's in the pool, it is already despawned. So we kind of want to find everything that is currently active. Oh, that's an interesting problem to have because we've not kept a record of that. Let's now maybe do the opposite then and say private dictionary game object is a queue as well, I suppose. Or is it just going to be a list? It's just going to be a list of game objects. Yeah, active objects equals new list game objects, whatever. And then when we spawn from the pool, we are gonna make it an active object. So if there we go. Context key. Oh, it's not the. Yeah, it is the key. Prefab. New list. Game objects. Ah. Do we need to keep a reference to it? don't think that we do, but I'm going to keep a reference anyway. Yeah, okay, so this is going to get really confusing, but if active object doesn't contain the key prefab, then we're going to make a new list, game object. Else, it does contain it, in which case we want to do basically that. Let's see. We want to do if the active object's prefab contains the spawned object, then no, it doesn't contain the spawned object, then we add the spawned object to that list. Else, we're trying to add a spawned object to active objects, but it was already active. I think that is a good message to have, because that would be an issue. And they're the only two situations. Although here we don't actually add it in, so we want to add it in as well. Yeah. Why is that grey though? Probably because we don't do anything with that list of active objects at the moment. So that's when we spawn something in. Now, when we despawn it, we also want to remove it. Okay. So destroy. Let's do a public. We'll do private void. Try to remove from active. And we'll have game object prefab game object object. And then how are we going to do this? Oh, nice! You got the. I keep forgetting that I've got a Fall Guy model in there. That's crazy. I wonder if there's anyone that's like working on the game now that has no idea where that model came from, so they just think that's a weird character model that we've got in the game randomly. There probably is by now. Let's see. Try to remove from active. So we'll do if active objects contains key. Whoa, it did that all for us. Then check if it contains the object. If it does, remove, and then this is all successful. Else, we're trying to remove an object from active objects, but it's not there. Else, trying to remove an active, yeah. Else, that's not there. Cool. And then we can do. So we're trying to despawn it. So, this is us adding it to the queue in queue, and also that is. So here we'll do try to remove from active prefab game objects to despawn. Okay, and then when we do this one, we want to do the same thing. So despawn to pool. This script is already getting really complicated. I ideally want to tidy it up a little bit because I'm starting to like repeat things, and it is quite a confusing script though. Trying to think what's the best way to like tidy it up. We have got this like create new object. We've got despawn spool, which does have some like logic in it as well. I'm trying to think like which bits I could group together. Like I could group that bit together because that is basically okay. I think I can rewrite this to be better. Let me just comment this out. And I think we can do it better. Basically, we want to do, ignore that. Game object prefab equals poolable dot prefab reference. Okay. Then we want to make it not active. So active equals not game object. Game object to despawn dot set active equals false. How long will it take you to make this game altogether? So we've done 9 hours 20 minutes on this game so far. At the end of this stream we'll have done 12 hours on it. There's going to be a lot to do because obviously it's like there's not much there yet. I don't know, maybe like 6 months to a year, something like that. Because I'm only doing 3 hours per week on it, so it's going to take time. If the pool dictionary dot contains key prefab. So if it doesn't, let's do it the other way around this time. So let's say if it doesn't contain the key, then we're going to add the key, obviously. So that'll be this bit. That's us adding a new queue. I'm going to add a comment as well. So add prefab to dictionary if it doesn't exist. Cool. Then that takes care of this bit. This bit is when we actually try to remove from active. So remove from active and enqueue to pool. Okay. Which would now work because we've made this if we didn't have it. Okay, but we want to check, does it already have that object in? So we can say, we can just take that bit, basically. Because we know it contains that prefab because we've just added that prefab in. Cool. So then we can basically doing this bit here now. So we can take this out. Cool. And that is, what did I just delete? Remove from active and executable. Shoop. Okay, and then we can get rid of this bit. Alright, that's much tidier than all of this. So I'm going to delete all that now. Yeah. Okay, and if... Okay, let's redo this a little bit. So we'll do the opposite way around. So if poolable equals null, then no, not that, because we just did that. Yeah, this, destroy it, and there's an issue. Did I just... where am I? Despawn. Here. Yeah, so let's take this bit out. We'll put it in there. So if we can't get poolable, then we have an issue. Basically that. Destroy object. It can't be pooled. We log a warning. And that's fine. We'll actually log an error because that's weird. Oh cool, you found me from the shorts and then you stream on Twitch. Oh awesome. I'm trying to stream on TikTok as well, but the rules on streaming are weird, so it keeps like removing permission to stream from my computer to TikTok, which is quite annoying, but I'll try and figure that out in the future. Or where did you see the shorts actually? Because I post them on YouTube, TikTok and Instagram as well. Kind of everywhere that does shorts. YouTube, nice. I used to do like longer YouTube videos, but they take so much more time. Like it'd take a whole week at least to do a YouTube video. Whereas a short, if I just do these like 3-hour streams and then I cut it into shorts, and they take like 20 minutes to edit a short out. So it's just, it feels like it's a much better way of doing things because then I've got actual time to do coding. I didn't really have much time to code a game and do YouTube at the same time before. Cool, so that is tidied up the whole despawning thing, I think. But we can get rid of some of this as well. So we don't need to check that because we already know if it's null, then do that. And then we can return there as well. So return, else continue. And then we can get rid of that because we know that it isn't null already. And we can get rid of that because we just got rid of the if statement there. So get prefab from the poolable prefab reference and then deactivate the object, check if it is in the pool already. The layout has got really awkward here. I'm just trying to fix it. There we go. Alright, so It's a little bit tidier than it was. It's still a bit messy, but there's no code that is like copy pasting. You tried to make tutorials, but it's hard while working full time. Yeah, definitely. It's just a lot of work goes into them, and yeah, you sort of do get demotivated a bit sometimes. It's just a lot, especially if you're trying to do other things as well. Let's see. So we do this try to remove from active. So here we'll just do if doesn't active objects contains key, then that's when we'll do that error. There. Else return. Otherwise we know it contains it, so we can get rid of that. It's just like the opposite way around of doing the thing, the same statement, but it's just a little bit tidier. So if it contains it, then remove it, else log that it's not there. Okay. I mean, I don't know what happens if you try to remove it and it's not in the list anyway. Like, maybe it wouldn't be an error, but I want it to be an error just so I can catch it and fix that if that happens. I don't know how you could make that shorter, but I'm sure you could make that shorter because it feels like a lot of lines for like something really simple. Okay, so try to remove from active. Where else were we going to do that? That was going to be in... Let's see. So when we spawn in the objects in, we add it to the active objects. And then when we despawn in it, we try to remove it and put it into the pool. Remove. So now when we do despawn everything, we basically want to do 4. Do we want to do 4 or do we want to make a new list? Despawn everything. You could do it this way. So for each key value pair in active objects, the prefab is the key, and the list of game objects is the objects to despawn, which is the value of the key value pair. And then for each object in objects to despawn, we want to do despawn to object, despawn to pool object, and then active objects clear once we've done that. Cool. Yeah. This being grey weirds me out though. Why would this be grey? You could probably put it in there. Spawned object. Can you not do that? Or just do it in curly brackets? Spawned object. Yeah, you could just make a new list with that in it already. I don't know why it was grey though. A light bulb. Maybe it would have told me. Introduce a parameter for spawned object. Why? Fix formatting. Okay, nice. Maybe I click undo and just see what it was saying was an issue. Because I am curious why that was an issue. Yeah. What was the issue? Oh, just it can be simplified, not symbolized. Add argument name key. Oh yeah, you could do that. Okay, I'll just simplify it in the way that we did it before. Not like that, like that. I don't like doing it like that though, that's weird. Let's do it how I did it. Like that. Cool. Does it have any other notes? Is there any other light bulbs? No. That would have been convenient. Okay, so let's see. I feel like this script is more complicated than it needs to be, but it is doing fairly complicated stuff, I suppose. So, okay. So, pool manager. From our game manager, when we do this destroy all enemies, when we start the game, should we just despawn everything? That would also despawn the player though. We could write this out better, I think, as well. We're basically saying, if not null, then destroy. So maybe we could just do like game lost. No, game start UI instance question mark dot question mark, and then how do you do it? Then destroy. Is that how you would do that? I'm trying to remember. No. Oh, look at that. If is that weird? That's not how you do that though, apparently. It is expecting that. Continue. You can't have continue. Why not? Do you have to have null? What would you have here if you're not having? I basically don't want it to do anything if not. But it wants me to do a colon. Let's try and do Copilot. I'm trying to destroy the game objects if it's not null. What's the... How can we do that in as few lines of code as possible? Question mark. Is it going to figure it out? Woo! Oh, it's basically just, it's literally just like, I mean, yeah, fine. That does basically what we're trying to do. Can't replace if else for non-assignment calls. That makes sense. But this, how it's done it here, I didn't know you could do that. So you just say basically, if, and then you just say that, and that means it's not null, I suppose. Basically, if you do that, does that mean the same as if not null? Because that's basically just doing that, and then it gets rid of that because it's just one line, so you can do that. And that line is the same as that line. We have a special Boolean operator override of just if. It just does a bool. Oh, it did a bulb there. Add braces. Why? Subvert the if. Don't want to do that either. But I think we can then just get rid of that as well, right? Is what we're saying. If not null, destroy it. And then we basically do that here as well. Same with this one. Same with this one. You could probably do like a try to destroy function that kind of just does that for you. That might be a better way to do it, to be honest. Should I just do that down here? Like, try to destroy. Private void, try to destroy. And then we give it a game object. Geo to destroy. And then we say if that looks like it says go to destroy, but geo to destroy, then destroy. Cool. And then we can just do that instead. So we'll just do try to destroy game start dot game object. Oh no. We're not doing that, are we? We basically want to be able to give it anything, and it will get the game object of the anything. We want to do private void, not even mono behavior. Try to destroy t component where t is mono behavior. I don't know if it has to be a mono behavior though, but still. If component destroy component.gameObject. I think that makes sense. Is that a game object though? No. It's a manager. Okay. So get rid of this one now. And then we'll now go back up to where we were doing that, here. Yeah, then now that's correct. So try to destroy. Do we not need to specify this? Oh, I guess it goes without saying that it's start manager because we are giving it the start manager. That's interesting. That you don't have to literally put like start game UI manager like that. You don't have to actually say that. Mono behavior is what Unity uses, I think. Yeah, mono behavior is a like Unity base class, so it has like update, awake, things like that in it, and you can put it on objects. It's like Unity has some stuff built in to make it easier to make games. Keep typing it wrong. There we go. Okay, so we can get rid of some of these now because we know we've got that one. We know we've got that one. We can do the game 1 so try to destroy game 1. Got that one, and then player instance. Ooh, it doesn't like that because it is already a game object. So we could just do a second try to destroy where it's private void. Try to destroy game objects, geo, and then if geo, destroy geo. And then here we can do... Why is it not doing the alternate version? Player instance is a game object. Oh, that's weird. It won't let me do that, even though... Oh, try destroy. It needs to be try to destroy as well. And then you can do that. Yeah, Copilot messes with all the blank spaces and like the formatting. Very annoying. Cool, so now we've got try to destroy. That looks much nicer than what we had before. So what are we doing here? We're spawn a player. This is set the camera to track player. This is to listen for player death. And then we want to not start spawning enemies. Switch game state to playing. And then this is to start spawning enemies now. Okay, so whereabouts would we want to destroy everything that is already pooled is probably here. So clear pool. And so to clear the pool, we would do pool manager dot instance dot clear pool. No, dot destroy, despawn, everything. Cool. So that will now despawn anything that is already existing from our last playthrough. In theory. And if we do that, we don't need to destroy all the enemies here. Because we've already told it to do that. I think that should be right. And then we can start spawning new enemies in. Cool. So we can get rid of this is not null and just say is that. Or we could just do that question mark. Oh, look at that. That frees these up. So if we do if, we don't need to do the if, we can just put a question mark in. And I think question mark basically says if it's not null. Oh wait, what's that saying? Unity objects should not use null propagation. Why? Why should they not use that? Preview changes. It won't preview changes. Why not? Because that feels like that's quite a tidy way to do it. I'm going to ask Copilot, why would it say, what does it say about not using null? Unity objects should not use null propagation. Why is it warning me that Unity objects should not use null propagation? Oops, I spelled everything wrong there. Why is it warning me that Unity objects should not use null propagation? Override the equals and doesn't equals to perform special checks, because Unity can fake destroyed objects as null even though the C# reference isn't actually null. However, the null propagation operator question mark uses the underlying C# reference check, not Unity's custom logic, which can lead to unexpected behavior. Oh. Ah, right. Ah. Right. So what we should go back to this then. Well, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to make another thing here. That's basically like, how would we do it though? I guess we could just do if level lost UI instance doesn't equal null, and have it all on one line like that. I don't like that though, that feels a bit gross. That's what it wants us to do though. So, hang on, put that on. So we'll do if level 1 UI instance doesn't equal null, then add that. Then we're going to do the same with health manager. That could maybe just use the question mark though, because it's just a local variable. I could just do like that. And this is if the player instance isn't null, then get the component. Is there like a try to get component? Like, I don't know if this is just the way code will always be, or like, I just feel like there's got to be a tidier way of going, is this null? And then going, try and get the component, and then going, is the component null? And then try and do something with it. Like, is there not just a way to do it all in one? Like, go, try to get component on, and then the game object, and then it just like does all that in one. What in the Jack Black is this? I guess we both have beards. And does he have big hair at the moment? I don't know. I never watched Minecraft, the movie. I can't tell if it was good or not because there's so many memes and things. It's hard to know if people actually liked it or they're just being ironic. Or Brutal Legend. I've got that on my list of games to play. It's been on there a few years now, but I do want to play it at some point. So we're checking null there as well. Remove listener on click. We can just do well, wasn't it warning us against doing that? Like that? No. It was only warning us on like game objects or something. So here we could just do if enemy manager equals null, then return, and then we can get rid of this bit. And we can do that as like return here. I guess we'll do that like that as well. This has to be 2 because we tried to get the component after that. Although I think there is a try to get component thing, like player instance dot try get component, like that. And then It's basically the same thing I had though, isn't it really? Let's go back. There's no point like overly complicating things if like we can't make it shorter. Okay, I think we've fixed, not fixed, but like we've added a few extra bits into here and made it a bit tidier. There's a few things I think could be better still than they are right now, but this is maybe good enough for now. Just going to have another look at this script where we spawn in the objects. There's maybe some stuff we can take out there, like I don't know. I think that's fine. Let's see if this still works, because we have changed quite a lot there. So start game. Okay, so it starts and everything hasn't broken. So that's good. Enemies are spawning in. Let's destroy some enemies. We basically want to see if the restarting is working. So we should be able to figure that out quite quickly. If we just destroy these all. 6 more to destroy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, restart. Okay, the bullets seemed to get destroyed then, which is good. Now I'll try the other way around. So I'm going to try to die. I'm firing loads of bullets. Hopefully, if I hit restart right when, yeah, the bullets got destroyed and the enemies got destroyed. So that looks like it restarts properly. You can always just like reload the scene, but I think it is better if you can to like handle it all within the script, so you are tidying up after yourself in the code. I think is just a better way to handle it. Jack Black's gonna voice Bowser again. That's cool. I feel like now Bowser's voice is Jack Black. I think it would be weird to swap him out with somebody else. Okay, so it looks like we're trying to despawn the oh yeah, okay, that's fine. We're basically trying to send the player to the poolable objects, but because we've only got one, we don't have the in the pool anyway. But that's fine. Cool. So that's taken like an hour of the stream, and basically all it does is make sure everything gets destroyed properly at the end. So that feels like not the most productive hour, even though like it's something important. So I don't know. It's one of those awkward things where like some time you spend on the game, you get like loads of cool stuff in and loads that like you can visibly see. Like last time we did like bullet holes and these particles. It's cool and you can literally see something has changed. But this time we've done something like destroy all the enemies when the level restarts, and it's like really boring and like it has to be done. But yeah, you know what I mean, just dull. Alright, so now I want to do it so that you start in the elevator and then the doors open and you come out of the elevator and then the door's closed. So let's see. Save. Save. Let's save our overrides on this. Cool. We are going to... Yeah, it's isometric, so we just got like our main camera. You can choose perspective or orthographic. I've just got it on orthographic 10, but it's just a 3D scene, so it's all 3D objects. But yeah, on orthographic it just looks really nice, I think. Like, yeah, there's just something really nice about isometric artwork. Even though like we're not using any artwork, I don't know. I just always like isometric looking games. I just think they're really cool. I wish there were more isometric games, so I'm making one. Let's see. Save. 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 Clear. Let's hook our game manager up to our lift so that the game manager can control the doors of the lift. So we need a reference to the lift. So serialized field, private lift manager, save that. And we go here and then we'll set that. Lift manager that, save. Cool. And then let's turn our lift into a prefab as well, because we're probably going to have more of those in future. Lift prefab. I'm going to put the bullet hole prefab in the particles folder. And then let's make a new folder called managers. And in the managers we'll put the game manager. And then health bar for unit. We can just leave that here for now. Let's make two folders. We'll do an enemy folder. No, we won't. I'll just call it FFF delete. There we go. Lift. Okay. So we have our lift on our game manager object now, so we can reference that. So when the game starts and we do start game, start spawning enemies in, and also open the lift doors. So we can do if lift manager dot, can we not do open doors? Open doors. Yeah. Save. Cool. And we want to spawn the player in inside the lift. So let's save this. Let's go to our lift manager. And then we need like a spawning point inside the lift. So if we go over to our lift. Edit script. We'll add a serialized field transform spawning point. And yeah, we'll make it so you can publicly get that transform. Cool. And then we'll also have here, we'll do the on draw gizmos. Yeah. If spawning point isn't null, then green sphere 0.1, we'll do 0.5 at spawning point, and draw a line facing forward. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, that's cool. Then we can set the rotation to be the rotation of that object as well. That's cool. Alright, so let's jump back in here now. We need to add a child to this. Create empty. We'll call this spawn point. And then on our lift, we'll just add the spawn point there. Droop. Nice. Okay, so that green dot is the spawn point of the lift. And it's facing the other way. So let's 180 it. And now, yeah, you can see that the spawn point is facing the doors of the lift. Cool. So let's save that. Apply all. If we go to our script now. Alright, first of all, we'll press play and we'll just see, do the lift doors open when the game starts? They should do. Start game. Nice, they do. Okay, so now that the lift doors open, let's make the player get out, spawn in the lift. So on our game manager, when we create our player here, we want to do those. The vector free position would be our lift manager in fact, let's do it here as a transform lift spawn point equals lift manager equals null, doesn't equal null, and if so, lift manager dot lift spawn point lift spawn point. Is that not right? Lift manager dot spawn point or null. Cool. And then yeah, we know the spawn position is either 0, it's 3.0, or the position of the spawning point, and then we know quaternion spawn rotation, and then we can do spawn the player in using the spawn position and the spawn rotation. Nice. My capture doesn't capture context menus like right clicking. That's because I'm just like capturing these applications specifically rather than my desktop. Just because what can I say? Let me see. I'm working on some stuff that's not announced, so it's better to not accidentally share my computer and then reveal stuff. In general, like I set it up this way when I worked at Epic, so I didn't just like reveal the next season of Fortnite by accident or something like that. So all that I can, all that will get captured is Visual Studio and Unity, which is good. Okay, so save that. Let's jump back in here. Turn the aircon on. It's really hot. Let's see then. So if we press play, we should now spawn in inside the lift. Start game. So we have spawned. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess the player doesn't have gravity on them, so technically, that has spawned in the correct place. It should just be on the ground. It is a little bit high. We're shooting over the top of enemies. Can't hit them. We can glide with them though. I'm thinking because it's going to be based in an office and you're going to go floor to floor. We're probably not going to need like stairs and ramps and things like that. Maybe we will want that in there at some point. Which wouldn't be too difficult to do. Must go Busto. Hello. I recognise your name, I think, from 2018. 7 years ago. Whoa. We're all old. All very old. Okay, so we just need to lower that to... well, it is at 000 though. I guess that's actually more of a problem with our player than our spawn point. Yeah, look at that. Zoop. Our capsule actually should be... Let's see. If I make a cube, 0 is down here. So actually, our capsule... Oh, our capsule's already touching the floor. Our capsule is touching the floor. Cube, delete. So when the player spawns in at 000, if I just drag them into the scene, yeah, they're touching the floor. And the spawn point, 000 in the lift. Oh. Maybe the lift is like raised up off the floor. Yeah, it is. I think. 2. High. Okay, so this should be at 0. Probably. And then we will raise everything else up by however much it needs to be so that it's not clipping in the floor. And our doors, will raise them up as well. 1. And then our spawn point can stay at 0. Cool, and then yeah, that's all good. Save. 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 Play. So now it should spawn us in, touching the floor in the lift when we click start game. Nice. It did. So if I die, I should again spawn in the lift. You've lost. Restart. And nice. And the door's opened for me. That's cool. Seems to work. So die, restart, we spawn in the left. Cool, and we'll just try if we win as well. And make sure that works. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Where's the last one? There he is. Okay, so we should spawn in on the left. Restart. Nice. Seems to work. The only thing I didn't like is the camera, like, sort of doesn't instantly go over here. It, like, moves slowly over there. And it just looks a bit... See that? That was kind of weird. It went blue. Weirdly around. So when we set the target, can we like force the position to be that as well? Target dot set target? No. Camera dot set target. No. So machine camera dot teleport it. Follow. Force camera position. Well, that's not really what we want to do. We want to resolve follow. Is that what we want to do? Resolve follow. I'm going to do it. This is a thing you can do where you can get the Copilot to just talk to you. So if I say comment and then say set the Cinemachine camera to the position of the player with the without lerping. Ah, look, there you go. Force camera to target, it said, but that doesn't work. It says that doesn't exist. We don't want to set the position to the player position because that's not how it works. Yeah, there is like target teleported. There's something. It thinks there's a force camera to target, but that doesn't seem to work. So you can force camera position, but I don't know what the camera's position should be in this situation. It's like we want to update update target cache. Target this could be on target warped. It could be this. Update the target cache. Let's have a look at what that does. Resolve the follow. Maybe. Let's just press play and see if that works. So if it works, it should just instantly move the camera to where the player is. That did look like it still moved. I'm going to Google it. to Google Cinemachine instant follow target teleport camera. I might do it. Force. Oh, I think it is this on target object warped method. Cinemachine. On target warps. This is called to notify the component that a target got warped, so the component can update its internal state to make the camera also warp seamlessly. The amount. Oh, okay. So, what we would do is in our game manager, yeah, the new position minus the old position. But we've just created the player, so it would be 0, 0, 0, I think. So we know that we can do on target object warped. We know the target is the player instance transform, and we know the position delta is the minus spawn position, because that would be 0, 0, 0 minus the spawn position. So that hopefully will make it jump over there. It's weird though, because when you tell it to follow something, oh, I suppose it wouldn't know that you wanted to teleport to it. Start game. That didn't work. Let's move the lift further away so we can see in slow motion what is actually happening. Or not in slow motion, but like we can hopefully actually see it moving. So if I put the lift over there and press play, make it bigger. If I press start game now, why does it start over here and move over there? That's weird, right? It starts here and moves over there, rather than starting at 0, 0, 0. Wait, I can run away with this one here really far and die. Then what happens? Restart. It animates back to here. I feel like it goes from like here though, at like a weird position. Main camera. We're not using this player camera script that I wrote, we're just using the actual camera follow script, I think. Anyway, like, yeah, no. Not using that. Cinemachine camera. Oh, lock to target on a sign. Lock to target. World space. Lazy follow. Basically, maybe we need to update this specifically. This Cinemachine follow. On validate, reset. Is valid stage. On warped. That forces it to take the right position. Force camera position. Would that automatically have the right offset if we did that then? So position, rotation. Does the base go to definition? There's no definition. So we want to do not ball manager and game manager. Do we need a reference to that camera follow script then maybe? Oh, it is the position delta, so maybe it's not the negative one, it is the actual positive of it. Yeah, you said the new position minus the old position. I've done the old position minus the new position. Let's try that. Click start. Oh, that worked. Whoop. It just flew me over there. So if I die now over here, will it just instantly teleport me over there when I click start again? Restart. No, but that should take into account the player's previous position. No, it should take into account the camera's position as well. So actually, it's hard to explain it. We want to set the camera's position back to 0, 0, 0, or we want to how would we get the player's position though? That's a weird one. We need to because the camera's position isn't like, it's like offset by an amount by this follow offset amount. So maybe we need to get this follow offset. So Cinemachine follow, maybe we do need that. So let's find our camera. Where's our camera? There. And we'll do serialized field, Cinemachine follow, Cinemachine follow. Unless you can just get the offset from the actual camera itself, which maybe you can. Can you do Cinemachine camera.follow offset? No. Okay, so we can do vector free. Offset current camera pause offset equals then it would be the current world position of the camera minus the follow offset of the camera follow. So current camera pause offset would be Cinemachine camera dot transform dot position minus the Cinemachine follow dot offset, follow offset. Then the delta would be the spawn position would it be plus or minus the camera's current offset position? It would be minus spawn position minus the current camera pause offset. Save. So I think that should hopefully be right. If we go to Game Manager, we do camera follow, put that in there, save, play. Start game. Okay, that just teleported there instantly, which is good. Now we need to know what happens if we die, but we move the camera really far away. Let's push it like that way as well. Now hopefully it will just teleport back to the start instantly. It did. Nice. We figured it out. Push this over here. Cool. Alright, we figured it out. Nice. Save. Save. Okay, so let's now make this look a bit more like an office floor. So we can start to actually make like a basic level. Yeah, we fixed it. So I had to, I'll show you the code. We had to get the position of the camera right now and take away the camera's follow offset from that, and then when we teleport the camera we do the spawn position minus the camera's offset position, which is the position it is when you die, which is just a few steps to do, but it meant that like wherever the camera was, we pull it back to 0, 0 and then push it towards where the player is spawning in. Yeah, it is quite complicated for something that I imagine needs to happen in a lot of games. Okay, so the lift, let's put the lift. I don't know whether the lift should just be at 0, 0, 0. I suppose it can be. It's kind of like the central point, I suppose. Although maybe we want to have like multiple lifts around the level so you don't always have to run back to the start. We can worry about that later though. Let's just put it at 0, 0 for now. Let's make some actual room shapes. So let's make a new object. We'll call this room. 0, 0, 0. And then this room will have some walls in it. We can just grab one of these walls we've already made, put it in the room. There we go. And then we'll position it at that's probably good. 5 away to another wall, and then we'll have that at like -10. No, that's the size of it. 10 at -5. There we go. Oh no, someone's advertising fake viewers, like a view botting website. Nice. Copy, paste. We'll rotate those round by 90 degrees. And then we'll position this one over here. And this one we'll position over here. We don't have any doors in that room though now. Let's just edit this slightly so that let's put it over here. Why does it have to be clipping through that to actually get it to position right? I guess it's because of the size of a lift. So maybe the lift is the thing that we should move so that the room is at 0, 0, 0, the first one. And then we'll move the lift back there. There. Basically, so you can't see it clipping through there. Cool. And then we'll make the lift needs a colour, I suppose. The walls and the cube and the doors need a lift colour. So let's go to materials. We'll make copy the wall one and we'll call it lift. Lift. And maybe we'll make it like a grey colour or something. And then we'll make it really shiny. And then we'll add that to the cubes, the walls. There's a cube as well. Sure. Materials. We'll put in our lift material that we just made. Nice. So that should be metallic, but it's not looking very metallic, is it? I suppose it is. You just can't see it that well. So let's bump up the smoothness, maybe. Try some different colours just to see if anything actually seems like it's not transparent, shiny. It's supposed to be as shiny as, can you see that? Like that, reflective. Oh well, play. We should spawn in the lift and there should be no way out of the lift. Start game. Okay. So that's worked. We're spawned in the lift. We're stuck in the lift. Let's edit the walls now so that we can see what's happening. So we probably want to make the walls in this room shorter. If that's, is that 3.5 or 3? 3.33. This is where CSG BSP brushes would be nice. What are those? How big are these blocks? They're 3. Size 3. And then 0.2. They're actually 3.4. But if I only know that I need to get to there, so I need to do 10. It would be 10. Let's think. 10 minus 3 for the lift divided by 2. Divided by 2. There. Then that should fit there. And it would be minus 3.2. I think I would have thought, but apparently not. Why would it not be? So if that's in the middle, we know we have to move to the edge of there. That's 1.5 minus 1.5. And then move again by half of this, which would be minus 1.5 minus 0.25. Okay. There you go, 3.25. Oh, yeah. That would be really cool. Be able to add and remove geometry. Yeah. I wonder if there is something for Unity that would do that. I know there's like ProBuilder, but I don't know if ProBuilder has what you just described, where you can add and remove geometry from other geometry. Wait, why is that wall? That's not the wall that I wanted to do. Copy component. Paste component. Okay, and then we'll just delete those other 2 walls. Let's make a prefab out of the wall as well. Or maybe not. We'll not do that for now. we'll copy, paste that, and put that over there as well. It'll be 3.25. Cool. And then we're basically going to want to be able to go in and out of the room from potentially all 4 sides. So trying to think what's the best way to do that. Let's just save that for now. Save, 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 save. Okay, we saved it enough times there. If we group those two together, create empty parent, not a 0, 0 though. We move those back by 5 to the middle. And then we move that back by 5. Default cube in Unity is 1 unit, which is good. And then, yeah, the default plane is 10, which is crazy. And it is a really weird number of triangles. I feel like it's almost better to just make your own default plane. There is a quad, which I think might be 1 by 1, but then you'd have to subdivide it anyway. It's a bit of a mess. So I'll call this wall with lift opening, and then maybe I'll just make a prefab out of that. So I'll make a rooms prefabs, and then I'll make that a prefab wall with lift opening, and then I'll make this prefab. It's just closed wall. Make that a prefab. Then this one we're going to do like, we'll basically delete those two. We'll copy the wall with lift opening, paste, rotate it 90 degrees, position it over here, yeah, by 0, and then 5 across there. And then we'll try and make that into like a doorway size. Although, maybe for now, that actually just works and we don't need a separate one. I think that probably makes more sense. Cool. So let's copy that again. Copy, paste, rotate it 270, so it's the opposite, and put it over here by -5. And then just to be correct about it all, that one's now rotated 180. Just so that technically those walls are all rotated around in a circle. Which I don't think we need to do, but it's fine. So this is a room with 3 openings. And then I will save that as a prefab as well. Cool. Then we can copy that, paste it, move it over here by 10. And if we make this now like room with 2 openings, and we undo it as a prefab, just unpack once, now make that a prefab. There we go, room with 2 openings. And then we can get rid of this wall, put in another closed wall, and then rotate that back and put that at 5. And then if we save this prefab, override, apply all, Now we've got two different types of room. We've got one with 3 openings, and duplicate that one. We've now got one with 2 openings. Then let's also, do we want to get rid of that, or do we'll just keep that over here for now. We'll make well, it's 2 openings opposite, and then we want adjacent as well. So we'll rename that to with 2 openings opposite, and then we'll edit this one, I suppose. Oh, we'll edit that one. Opposite. We'll unpack this one. Prefab unpack. And we will switch some of these walls around. So instead of that one being there, let's put it here. So we'll do 180. We'll position it back over here. And then this other closed wall will move over here. And that'll be 270. Cool. So now we can save this as a new prefab called room with 2 openings adjacent. Adjacent? Adjacent. Is that how you spell adjacent? I've got to look that up. I don't know how to spell adjacent. Yeah. I did spell it right. Cool. So that is adjacent. So we will make that into a prefab as well. Cool. So now that's a prefab. So let's take that one, we'll copy and paste it, move it over here. Then we've got to rotate it around to do that, like -90. Then let's add in another one of our 3 opening ones. Put it here. And we'll rotate that round like that. So 180. And then let's add in, let's connect this back up to here with some of these. So we've got 2 openings adjacent. We'll copy and paste that. We'll move that over here. Rotate it round. That's -180. And that should be 0. Oh, not -180. We want like that. So -270. Cool. Then we'll copy and paste that one again. Rotate it around, so not 0, not 90, -90, -180, -90, -90, there we go, no, -90, there, plus 360, there you go. Then we'll do another one of these corridors, or let's just duplicate this freeway one. Copy, paste, and let's do some rooms with 1 opening on these 2. So to do that, we'll just take one of these ones, copy the room with 2 openings, paste it. We'll go this room with 1 opening. We'll unpack it. Prefab, unpack. Then we'll add in, or we'll delete one of these. Let's just spin it back to 0, 0 first. Oops. We'll just leave that one, so we'll delete this wall here. Duplicate the closed wall, paste it in, put it at 0. Is that one at 0? That one's at 0, so probably just do it at 180. Then we'll put the wall over here. Cool. And then this room has one opening, so we'll make a prefab out of that. And then we'll position that over here and rotate it by 90, minus 90. Then duplicate it. There we go. Cool. So now we have like an office floor. Got an hour left of the stream. So let's see what we can do. If we press play, we should just be able to walk around this office that we've made now. Getting hot again, turn that on. Start game. Nice, so the lift opens up, we can run around our office. Yeah, having the walls on top of walls will cause Z fighting. It doesn't seem to be at the moment, but maybe it's because they're both the same material. But a lot of these walls are like overlapping. These ones are Z fighting because they are different materials, but I can change the height slightly to get away with that. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Can you see it? Is it doing it? It is doing it a little bit. I can see it happening slightly on these walls. I mean, technically it should be happening because they are like duplicated, like you say. But it's almost not noticeable. Yeah, if I add different wall colours, which I do plan on doing, it will get worse. But we could move the walls in slightly, yeah. I think what would probably be better to do is to generate all the rooms separately to the walls and then only put walls in once between rooms. And then it's all in code as well then anyway. Which is probably better than having so many different prefabs for the different room walls. So now we want to change how our enemies spawn in, because at the moment, yeah, like generate the floor plan and then generate the walls to go around the floor plan. But at the moment with our enemies, we're spawning them in these 4 red spheres. We want to change that so we spawn the enemies in within rooms, which feels like it's going to start getting really complicated because it's like jumping a few steps ahead, because at the moment the rooms only exist within the scene because I'm not generating them. It's hard to know where we're going with it, and if we don't know where we're going with it, we don't know, because like you could have the prefabs have spawn points in them, and then we sort of position everything in the room, and that room then has its own enemies saved within it. Or we could generate all the floor, like the floor plan, generate the walls, and then decide, in this room we'll have 3 enemies, and then choose where to place them. And in this one we'll have 2 enemies, and so on and so forth. But we need, because we're skipping ahead and we've not generated this floor. It's like, how do we want to do that? Do we want to go a few steps back, delete this, and actually try to spawn this all in code, and then try and figure it out? Or for now, do we just manually position those cubes so we can try it out? That might be a better way to do it for now. Because I'm trying to like code in like one floor to try out, is this game fun or not? And how we don't know how big rooms need to be as well. Like rooms might need to be like 4 times bigger than this or something. So let's edit our script that generates enemies. Our enemy manager. Let's change these from spheres to just like, we could do cubes, well, squares. I guess let's use squares. Or make the radius the size of the square. Nice. Yeah, then we don't have to like destroy everything. Perfect. Let's do that. Alright, so we know they're 10 by 10, so we just do 5 by 5. A level. Yeah, we started making an actual floor. So we can start testing this properly. Whoop. Okay, this is going to work. This is a good idea. Good idea. Okay, so we'll move it to 20. Shoop. And then this one. Whoop. 0. This one will move over here as well. 20. 0. Plus 5. No, minus 10. There we go. This next one is going to be 20 as well. No. 10 and minus 10. This one will be minus 0 and minus 10. Cool. Let's add all the rooms in. Because all it's doing is it's choosing a sphere randomly and then randomly choosing a spot within the sphere. So if we just add all of those rooms as spheres. So it's minus 20. Yep. Add another one in. That'll be 0. Yep. Add another one in. That'll be 10. There we go. Add another one in. And then that needs to be 20 there. Nope. Minus 20. Yep. Add another one in. We'll do minus 10. That could be minus 10. Yeah. And one more. This one is going to be minus 20. Nope. Minus 10. 0. Nice. Look at that. Then we've got a sphere for each of the rooms. So now if we go back, save, 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 Make that full screen. Press play. Start game. Enemies should start spawning in randomly in rooms all around this floor. So there's one. Kill them. Oh, there's another one. And another one. Oh man, they're all spawning in right next to me. There we go. Then this one. This one. It's working though. They are spawning in right next to me. I am noticing like you don't see your player when you stood against these walls. So all these walls could just be like lower to show that they're walls. Let me show you. So if I just manually select a whole bunch of these walls. This one, 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 this one. Basically every wall. It won't let me choose that one. This one, 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 so on. We can't choose that one. But I could do a see-through shader. Oh, the player think they could shoot over them. That is a good question. So if I lower them now. Yeah, you would think you could shoot over that, wouldn't you? That's weird. Oh, it's because they're duplicated. Because we duplicated them all. Yeah, I think if they were all down like that, I think, yeah, you could have a separate collider, but I think the player would think I could shoot over that. They wouldn't think. Because if you got like desks and things in there, you wouldn't necessarily think there was a wall blocking stuff. Maybe if it was like partially transparent, like if I find the wall material here, I make this transparent, it loses its shadows then. It's supposed to receive shadows, but it's not giving shadows because it's transparent, which is a bit odd because it's not. It's like a. Nah, that's gonna look horrible. Look at that. I can't even see what's going on there. Like, yeah, that looks awful. That's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Look how awful that looks. There's not even shadows. It just looks disgusting. Let's undo that. Alright, let's fix that wall material back to opaque. I do have like an outline plugin, I think. I'm just going to check asset manager. outline, highlight plus, all in one outline and selection effects. Okay, let's just download this, try it out. Download. Let's go. It's not downloading. Okay, it's downloaded. I'm an asset holic. Yeah, it is really addictive to grab assets and just collect as many as possible. But if it saves you time, it's worth it. Okay, import. Oop. It's in project. Then we go to highlight plus bundle, URP, and install. Okay, import. The issue with this, by the looks of it, is it means that all the walls will have to have this highlight script shader on it. Unless one of them's like a camera effect, but not actually a shader, which would be ideal. Okay, so I've installed that. Now how do we use it? There's a README. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, you need to be in the forward renderer. Okay. Right, so we go to project settings, graphics, project settings, graphics, and then double click the universal rendering pipeline asset, which is there. Well, the README is gone now. I'll lock that there. I'll make a new inspector here. I'll make that the README. Lock that one. Okay. And we'll go back to this one. So what's in the URP? Oh, it's in the bundle. Okay, README, unlock this one, lock it again, right. So we go to this asset, we double click the forward renderer asset. I don't see that. Double click the universal rendering pipeline asset, that's this. Double click the forward render asset. Oh, this is the renderer. I don't know that it is a forward renderer, but still. Oh, we're in forward plus. Hopefully that's fine. I don't know the difference between the rendering paths, to be honest. Okay, and then we click add renderer feature, And then we click Highlight Plus Renderer Pass. Okay. And then what do we do? Okay. Next, how to use it. We add a highlight effect to any game object, and then we can customize the appearance options below. Okay. Highlighting any object in the scene. We don't want that. Make transparent shaders compatible with the see-through effect. If you want see-through effect to be seen through other transparent objects, they need to be modified so they write to depth buffer. By default, they do not. Okay. Objects marked as static need a mesh collider in order to be highlighted. Okay. Alright, I think that makes sense. Let's try now and see how far we get. So, we just need to find our player, apparently. Prefabs, player. And if we go to our player and then we add a highlight or something, it said. Highlight effect. And then it said to choose some options on here. Let's just make it like yellow for now. Okay. See-through mode for this highlight effect. Never. Always when occluded. Let's just leave never, see what happens. I mean, okay. Let's just press play now and see what happens. Start game. So it's not highlighted. We go find that player. Enemy player clone. And we highlight it by clicking highlight. I mean, that is not highlighting through the wall. It is highlighted it, I suppose. Okay, you can choose how transparent the outline is. Right. What else can we do? Color style. We can do gradient. And outer glow. Ooh, look at that. That is clipping through the wall. I quite like the differing effect on it. It's quite nice. So let's go to the outer glow. Inner glow. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. But again, we can't see that through the wall. Overlay. I guess it just would light it up, but you could put a texture on it or something, maybe, I suppose. Ooh, look at that. It does look selected. It's quite fancy looking radioactive effect. An icon. a cone. I don't see the cone. Oh, there it is. Look, there's the cone. Do you see the cone? There it is. It helps you find the player when you can't see him. You just occasionally get this cone effect. It's gone now. Okay, well, that's gone. See through. Always when occluded. Whoa! What's that? Whoa! Whoa! I don't know what to do with this information. Look at that. Alright, so what does that do then? So depth offset. Oh, look at that. Probably want that at 0. Intensity, it's at 0.8. Okay, so you can have it like semi-transparent. Or more. Oh, it's a color blend, so you can make it colored. Okay. So I got rid of the outline there. We've just got this now. The intensity at 1. What is this, like stripes? Is that the noise? Oh, okay, that's the noise. So you can add your own texture to it if you wanted. There's some noise here. Whoa, look at that. Bzzz. Looks like static TV. Try play now. Okay. Look at that there, that's cool. So we can make our own texture to use for that. Wow, we can scale it up. Look at that, pixels. Woo! Let's. I like that. That's cool. It's like it's centered. Border when hidden. What does border do? Width. Oh, cool. Look at that. So if we don't want border only, we want that as well. Whoa, look at that. That's cool. And then we can add in that noise again, because that noise was quite cool. Look at that. Whoa. It's Sims toilet mode. It basically is. You've got a script that makes objects between the camera and target change by layer and material. Nice. I think I'm going to mess around with this just because it looks crazy. I feel like we could get something that looks really cool just messing around with whatever is built in to this one. What does hit effects do? Execute hit. Oh, you can flash it as well, so it looks like you've been hit. Although I'm just going to do that myself anyway, but kind of cool that it has it. If we add that red, is that the red I use? Whoa, look at that. Color blend. Do we want to add some color in there as well or not? And do we want that border to just be a black outline, or you can't have it gradient, but you could have it like partially transparent. It feels like there's a lot of options here. Too many options. What color even do we want it? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be like black, but the black one was quite obvious where you were. Let's just leave it at the black one for now, I suppose. And then maybe make it a bit smaller so it's not as in your face. That's cool. And we could do screen space, object space. Let's get rid of the other noise. And the color blend, because that looks weird. Texture scale. Oh look, so if it's object space, it doesn't like animate as much weirdly, which is cool. Because we could have like some like dithering or stripes on it or something. So object space, screen space. Oh, whoa, look at that, that's crazy. So you could have like a proper material behind. It's like hard to explain. There's like a 2D image behind the screen and you can like see through to it. That's cool. Or Triplanar just like projects it on, which looks good, but like it gets a bit fuzzy with how it moves and it calculates itself or whatever. Like, and it kind of moves around, I think, too much, so it looks a bit odd. So I think object space is probably best because that then doesn't animate, it just like sits. And then if we do lower the texture scale, so it's like pixels 1, and then do we want to add some of that noise back in as well? The noise is a bit odd though. No, the noise actually looks kind of cool. I wish it was diagonal instead of straight across though. Do you know what I mean? If I make that full screen though, is that still... Oh, look. No, that noise is not good because that will compress really weirdly on video. It probably looks really weird on the stream, that one. Okay. Pause. Let's go down to that one. So we want to remove that noise because it looks a bit odd. Intensity, you don't have to have it fully opaque as well. You can have it like partially. Let's do like 0.5. And you don't have to have it occlude in everything. You could just have it happen to like the walls. So if I do nothing and then I only do like the walls like default, the enemies are not on their own layer yet. Oh, they are. Accurate. So that's weird because it's doing it through everything that is above. Because I'd probably only want it to do it against the wall. Like, I don't know if you'd want to see yourself through the other enemy there. That is weird as well. It didn't do it then. Like, Yeah, I think enemies should have the shader on them as well, so you can see them. Max depth. I suppose it's like it's turning it off when you can see enough of the player. It stops it from happening. It seems a bit temperamental. Like maybe it's not temperamental. Maybe it's just not as instant as you'd want it to be. Oh, check interval. How often it should check. I feel like we could lower it to like 0.1. I don't know. Let's see how much actually like frame rate we're using with that. So that's like what, like 10 milliseconds of CPU, and render time is very low. It's like 3 milliseconds. You've lost. Restart game. No! The settings were on the player and the player got killed. So we lost all those settings. No! Well, I think we know what we did though. So very straightforward. You have lost. Yeah, I think that's pretty good for now. Camera layer mask. Which cameras can render the effect? Everything. Yeah. Ignore object visibility. Show highlight effects even if the object is not visible. Oh yeah, no, probably don't want that. Normal options, smooth, fine. Optimize skinned mesh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do only this object because we don't want the health bar to get outlined. So actually, would you do it on this object or the one below? No, I suppose it would be on everything, include children. But then it includes the health bar, which is a bit weird. Oh well. Constant width. Okay. Camera distance fade. Ah. That's cool, because then it doesn't do it for enemies that are like really far away. If you were like in a FPS game or something. Okay, you can add like a margin around it. Let's click here, highlighted, so we can see it there. Yeah. Cool. So do we want an outline? I think yes, we want the outline. We thought the outline was cool, but maybe we do it like in black. and 0.4 probably looks cool. Visibility is only when occluded. Oh, okay. Let's press play and see. But I think that might mean that it won't do the outline around the normal shape. Yeah, look. It only shows you... yeah. It only shows you the outline when you are blocked. I think it's doing it here because this prefab's open. So that's kind of confusing it a bit. But then... yeah, it'll only draw on the bits that are occluded, which I think is what we want, but we only want it to do it on walls. We don't want it to do it on enemies. Cool. Did that do it over the top of that health bar then? It does do it over the top of the health bar. That's a bit annoying. Okay. Alright, so we know what that does. We will do see-through never. Only when occluded, when highlighted. What does see-through mean in that context? So let's click highlighted yes, and we will do normal, and then we'll click always when highlighted. Occlude a layer. What's this doing then? See-through. 0.8. Let's try it with outline turned off and see-through turned on to see what see-through does. I'm wondering if it just like lets you literally see the player transparently. Oh, whoa, look at that, what's up? Zoom in. Enhance. That looks cool. It don't work well with these walls where there's two walls on top of each other, that's all. Okay, so let's find that player and click on it. So... oh, okay, you can have it so it's just literally the shape of the player. That's quite clean. I quite like the noise, but I don't think the noise is a great idea. I think like if we're going to do that, we should make a custom texture file to use. And it should be like stripes, diagonal stripes or something. But that looks quite cool. What's determining the shape? Because it says it's supposed to be red, but that is not red. Border when hidden. Do we want a border around it when it's hidden? I can't tell if it looks better with a border or no border. Like... does the border look better or worse than just no border? Children's sorting mode. Ordered. It seems like it's using barely any CPU, GPU, whatever there, which is good. So overlay, you can have that weird effect there on your player. I don't want that. Inner glow is quite cool as well, but it's more of a selection thing. Outer glow is pretty cool, but it doesn't really work for this. The outline, if we did want one around the actual player as well, that might be cool if we have the outline just around the player, but like transparent sort of thing. 0.2. That's weird. The sizes are different. So this one is a width of 2. If I do a width of 2, it's massive. So 0.01, 0.1. Outline. Oh, okay, look. That seems pretty cool. Width. I think we want 0.1. And then that's how faded it is. So maybe we have like 0.5 faded. So now like we'll always have an outline when it's highlighted, but you just will see it darker. Nah, that looks a bit weird. Although you could do it like that, get rid of that border. That outline looks better than the one that's like generated though, so maybe we don't want that one, we just want this one. And because that's a really clean outline. The 2 one is cool. And that's how transparent to make it. I think 1 probably works best. Cool. What does ordered do? It doesn't say. Intensity. Oh, whoa, that's cool. So, what is that doing even? It's like picking the colours somehow, but I'm not quite sure how. One just like blocks it out as white, does it? If we make it yellow, I don't know, make it red. I don't know why it's so like faded is all. Include, I suppose, the children. Highlight. Constant width. Let's see. What does the target do? Whoa! Did you see that? That's kind of cool. But we don't need that. I'm just not sure about why the colour doesn't seem to work properly. Like, the colours I'm choosing don't seem to affect how it actually looks. And I kind of like this where it like has slightly different colours depending on what's going on. It's kind of cool. Oh, because the colour blend wasn't set fully. So if that's one, that's one. And the colour was like orange. Yeah, then it goes fully orange. So yellow. Cool. Let me just see if I do have a texture in Unity project already that is kind of like diagonal stripes. No, there's nothing like that. That would have been quite convenient. There's like weird floor texture. That's kind of cool though. And then I kind of want it to be a bit transparent rather than quite that intense. Okay, that's that. So if I do it like 0.75 and then I do the border on 0.75 as well. That looks pretty cool. I think I prefer it stripes rather than these weird checkboard whatevers, but we can do a texture for it later. I think that looks quite cool though for now. What do you think, chat? The yellow could be any colour though, like blue or something. I don't know what colour sort of stands out as being able to see through the wall. That's kind of cool. Maybe even white is just fine. Until we know like what colour the walls and everything are going to be. Let's just use that. Let's do it. Let's copy these values. Copy component. Stop. Then we'll go to our prefab for our player. We will paste in these values. Paste component values. Cool. And then we can make a highlight profile. So we'll create this. We'll call this highlight plus profile player. And then maybe we just throw this on the enemies as well for now. Where's prefabs? Enemy. Highlight effect. And then player. Load. Cool. Even if the player object is not visible. To the okay. We might need to find a way to not let things draw over the top of the player. Like if an enemy stood behind a player, you don't want to see the enemy through the player. And if the player stood behind an enemy, you probably don't want to see the player behind the enemy, in front of the enemy. I'll show you what I mean. I'll press play and see if it does it. So pause, make that full screen, play, start game. So you can see yourself in the lift now because we can see ourselves through those, see through the walls. If we stand behind here, we can see ourselves through the enemy and through the enemy's health. I feel like, see there, not the same issue. Why does that render over the top? Maybe it's because you're behind a wall and behind the enemy's health. If you were just behind... Why... Oh, because... Because there's just the enemy's health blocking you, it won't render in front of that. But if the enemy's health is in front of the object that's blocking you, then it renders you in front of the enemy's health. Seems to be what happens there. Oop. 11 o'clock. Oh, it's the end of the stream, really. Just hit 3 hours. I think I was a few minutes late starting up there, so I'll just wrap it up. Alright, so it won't render you behind the health, which is good. It will render you through walls. And that's a bit weird. Do we think we should see the player behind enemies like that? Or not really? I feel like maybe not really. It should just be walls, really, that you see yourself through. I think I saw there was a component called Highlight Effect Blocker. I'm wondering if that block, outline and glow. Block everything. Okay. Play. Oh. Exit prefab mode. Okay. Play. Have you experienced spaces or gaps in your character when using animation rigging in Unity 6? I don't think I've done any animation using the Unity rig. So you've rigged it in Unity and you're animating it in Unity as well, right? Oh look, that's worked. So now I can't see myself through the enemy. Oh cool, yeah, and there as well, same thing. So that's what we want. If an enemy goes in front of me, also, they don't render in front of me. And if an enemy goes in front of an enemy, same thing. But an enemy doesn't seem to be getting outlined now. Were they getting outlined a second ago? The enemies have got the same script on, so they should be visible. That's weird, isn't it? So let's go back now and have a look. So our enemies block, outline and glow. Let's remove that. excuse me. Oh wait, we'll just tick it so that they're highlighted. No. Okay, let's just try that. Play. Start game. Pause. Full screen. See ourselves through the lift and through Alexa.
I didn't find a group.
Alexa.
Named Lava Lamp.
Ignoring me. Alright. Can the enemies get blocked by... Well, not get blocked, but be seen. Enemies can't be seen through the wall. Is it because they don't have a material? Maybe they need to have a material put on them. Enemy capsule. It's just this lit material. Maybe we need like a proper material on them. Enemies player. We'll do an enemy material. Enemy capsule enemy. And we'll make them red or something. Okay. Play. Oh, he's supposed to go out of this, but that's fine. Start game. So I can see myself. I can see myself through enemies. I don't like that. I can't see the enemies through the walls though. That's weird. Because I think the enemies have got the same settings on as the players. Hey, Rubik's Cube. How's it going? Subscribed. 18 months. Nice. This is so confusing. It's supposed to show up when highlighted. Everything. The colour is all the same as the other one. Why is the player not getting highlighted? The player's getting highlighted, but the enemy doesn't seem to get highlighted. Maybe if I tick this highlight and just see what happens. No. The enemy is not getting highlighted. Like I'm not seeing that at all. Sync with profile. Load. The highlight effect isn't working on the player, on the enemy. Do I need to put it on this rather than on this? So if I copy this, delete it, and put it on the actual capsule. It's not working. They're the same settings that are on the player though. Where's the player? Prefabs. Player. Enemy. Player. Highlight effect. It's just on the player itself there. Enemy. I guess I can put it back on that. Copy, remove, paste, load. Camera, layer, effect, everything, sure. Highlight, it's not highlighting. Why is that not working? Independent. Do not combine outline or glow with other highlighted objects. Tick. Same on the player. Where's independent? Tick. Okay, maybe that was the issue? No, it doesn't seem to be working still. Play. Start again. Pause, full screen, play. So I can see myself through enemies, but enemies aren't showing up through me or through each other or through the walls. Why? I don't get it. The enemies have got literally the same effect on. And if I click highlighted, which enemy is that? That one. If I go to like this enemy, and I tick to say that it should be highlighted. Oh, that highlights it. When highlighted. Always when occluded. Ooh. Oh, you can only have like one thing highlighted at a time or something. Enemy. And then we put always when occluded instead. Always when occluded. Oh, okay. Ordered. Tick. And then player. Ordered. Tick. Save. Save. Play. So, I think if I make it full screen, now enemies hopefully will. No, look there, he's not doing it. He's not occluding. Why is it being weird then? Enemies. Like I can manually highlight them. But why are they not getting highlighted? Ignore object visibility. Does that make a difference? If I turn off highlighted. Well. It's not working. Does it need to be independent again? That was unticked. See through. Always when occluded. Oh, that got turned off. So enemy. When highlighted, always when occluded. Okay. Save. Maybe that's all we needed. Press play. Tea flavored Kit Kats. We had I think it was like dairy milk, like iced latte flavor, and it was really good. I quite like these new chocolate flavors they're doing. On pause, start game. Okay, so we can see ourselves through walls. Correct. Can we see enemies through walls? Oh, we can see enemy through an enemy there. See ourselves through the enemy. Oh, look, there we go. We can see an enemy through a wall. Nice. So the only thing we want to do... Excuse me. The only thing we want to do now is we don't want to see things that can go transparent. We don't want to see them through each other. So like if I stand behind an enemy like that, I don't want to see that. But I don't know how to do that bit. Maybe we try again with the block thing. So if we go to the enemy, there was like a highlighter effect blocker. Put that on, tick both of those, copy that. If we put that on the player as well, paste component as new, go back, save, play. Hopefully now we can see players through the wall, we can see enemies through the wall, but we can't see players through the enemies. And we can't see the enemies through the players. Nice, that's working there. Let's make it full screen. So this is working. We can't see the player through the enemy, which is weird when that happens. Can we see the enemies through the walls? Yes, look there. If I shoot him down a bit, you can. And we can see ourselves because we're through the wall as well, but that's fine, I think. We can't see the enemy in front of the player, which is exactly what we wanted. We should put the blockers on the health though as well, because it's weird to see you through the health bar. That's cool though. That seems to be working how you'd want it. So yeah, look, that's pretty good. Would you want to see the bullets through the wall? Like if you're shooting bullets like that? I feel like, yeah, you probably would want to see the bullets. Especially if the enemy shoots you, you would want to see the enemy bullets. Yes. Let's do that. So we can basically go to our enemy. We can grab both of these, I think. Can you grab them both at once? No. Or we'll just grab this highlight effect, copy that, go to player bullet, paste as new, and then put the blocker on it. And then block, save. Cool. Okay, so now we should be able to see bullets through the walls. Will that load that? Load. Cool. It's nice to see you. Thanks for jumping on and saying hello. Exit prefab mode. I think I'm basically finished with the stream now anyway. Just wanted to get this working. So, start game. You can see ourselves through the walls. The lift opens up. We run in. Can see ourselves through walls. We've got enemies. I can shoot. And yeah, you can see the bullets through the wall. That's cool. But also you can see the bullets through the player, which I need to fix that because that's weird. You shouldn't be able to see that. See the enemies through the wall. Can't see the bullets from behind the enemy though, which is probably correct. You can see it behind the wall. That looks a bit weird when you're just shooting at the wall like that. Also the bullet holes going through the wall there, it's a bit odd. We can fix that later though. Okay, so that seems pretty good. Cool. So yeah, we can't see each other through the enemies, which is good. Just through the walls. And you can see enemies through the walls. The bullets being visible through the player is a bit weird. Oh, maybe that is because I'm reusing the bullets. I'm like respawning the same bullets back in. So maybe if I restart the game and check if the first bullet I fire is visible through me or not. So if I go over here, can I see the first bullet? I can. So the blocker's not working on the player. I do have the blocker on here. I guess I could go to play a bullet. I could go to this. And I think I can disable the player from being an occluder. Check individual objects. No. Cool. Alright. Let's go back to our player now and see if that same setting is chosen. See through, occluder, everything. Oh, that's not using the profile. Load. Occluder, not the player. You can't save that. Save. And then if I go to play a bullet and I load that, that's got the mixed. Go to enemy, load. That has the mix as well. Cool. So now I shouldn't see the bullets through the player. I should just see things through walls, really. Let's make it full screen. Nice isometric look. Thank you. I really like isometric games. I think they always look really cool. Okay, so now we can't see the bullet through the player, which is good. We can see it through the wall, but not when it's here, which is pretty good as well, actually. That was looking weird before when we could. You can see it when it's behind walls though, which is good. We can see ourselves through walls. We can see enemies through walls. Can't see ourselves through enemies. That looks pretty good. The other thing now is just updating it so the timer checks more frequently. Because I think it seems to be checking quite slowly. So if we go to player, if we edit this, one of these is like check frequency or something. Check interval. How long in seconds? So let's do 0.05. What's that? 20 times a second? Maybe we just do it at 0.01. And if it is an issue, then we can fix it later. Let's just do a 0.1 and see how that looks. If I click load, will it get that 0.1? No. Player. If I make that 1, then I make it 0.1, then save. And then go to play bullet. Has it changed it? 0.1. If I go to enemy, 0.1. Cool. Let's try that again now and see if that looks pretty good. Play. So every 0.1 seconds, every 0.1 second it should check, are you behind something? And if so, make you invisible. Well, add the highlight on. That's weird, it like strobed a bit with that. It's kind of based on how far away your camera you are. It's like how much a view is covered up as to whether it shows or not. I'd also like it if instead of just disabling and enabling, it like faded in and out, but that's fine. There's a weird thing that happens when you go past a certain point. This might be because the camera's isometric, so it's confusing the script that it checks. It seems really good for the player at least, but like a bit weird for enemies. Seems pretty good. See, that one probably should be visible there. If you go over here, it's not. Still visible. Okay, it's just a slight quirk that we can figure out. Walker Makes Games, hello. Just about to log off, but I will just quickly show you what we got to end the stream. Cool, so we have click start. You spawn in a lift. The lift opens up. You run around the office space. Enemies will randomly spawn in. There's 10 of them are going to spawn in. You can click and shoot in whatever direction you want, or you can use the arrow keys. You can also use the gamepad if you want to use that. Whoop. I'm just going to use mouse and keyboard. You can shoot enemies and hurt them, and then they will explode. If you hide behind the wall, you can see transparent. We did this today, where you are, so you don't lose track of the player. The same should happen for enemies as well. So yeah, if an enemy stands behind a wall, you'll be able to see the enemy still behind a wall there, which is cool. When you kill all the enemies, which I will do real quick now, you complete the floor, and you would go back to the elevator, get in it, and then move up to the next floor. But for now, it just does a message which should say you have completed the level or game. You have won. Restart game. So I'll go stand in the lift now, which is what I would do, and then it goes to the next floor. You come out and you start getting new enemies on the next floor. If I die, I'll just kill myself here. Just collide with the enemy. You've lost. Restart game. It restarts you. Nice, and that's everything we've got so far. So it's a twin stick shooter. It's going to be roguelike. These rooms are like placed, but it would all be procedural at some point in future as well. Yeah, pretty cool. I do wonder now, maybe when you do spawn into the floor and the door opens up, maybe all the enemies are already placed and there's just none in this first room. Maybe we add doors on and you can bust through the door, shoot the door down, and the enemies can wander around and open and close doors as well. I feel like there's a lot of stuff we can do with it. But this is what we got so far. Alright, thanks everyone for joining. I will see you next week for another stream. In the meantime, I'll be posting shorts on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Thanks for watching.